Welcome to our program on Kardec Radio.
Hello, beloved friends, and welcome to another Divine Laws program where you and I study the very laws that govern not only our lives but the entire universe out of love and mercy from God. And though we are reminded by Kardec that these laws are in our very conscience, we also come to understand that we need reminders to be aligned with these laws. This is why Kardec devoted the third part of the Spirit's book to such laws. Right at this moment, you and I are studying together question 1009, which is divided into four parts. The part upon which we will focus our attention tonight is that answered by Plato, is the explanation given by Plato to the question of whether or not punishments are eternal. So let us learn from this very illuminated spirit who, working under the guidance and the governance of the Christ, came back through the mediums in Kardec's time to illuminate our lives and our understanding all the more, helping us to bring reason and faith together. Let us then study Plato's explanation together, dear friends, shall we? And thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Slavik, for being here tonight. And thank you to everyone who is in this current of light and hope together. Let us then learn from Plato. Plato explains that, one second, the objective of humanity, he explains to us, wars of words, have you not shed enough blood? Are the inquisitional fires to be rekindled once again? You argue over expressions such as eternal sufferings and eternal punishment. Do you not know that what you understand today by eternity was not understood in the same way by the ancients? Let theologians consult the sources, and like you, they will discover that the Hebrew text does not give the word the same meaning that the Greek, the Latin, and modern translations have rendered as everlasting and unpardonable punishment. The eternity of the punishment corresponds to the eternity of the evil that has occurred. Yes, so long as evil exists among humans, punishments will continue. It is in this relative sense that the sacred texts should be interpreted. Plato further explains that eternal punishment is therefore relative and not absolute. A day will come when all humans will don the garments of innocence through repentance, and on that day there will be no more groaning or gnashing of teeth. It is true that your intelligence is limited, but even at this stage, it is still a gift from God, and with the help of reason, there will not be one single human of good faith who could possibly understand eternal punishment in any different way. Eternal punishment, how could that be? Only if we believe that evil was also eternal. But only God is eternal and could not have created eternal evil. If such were the case, we would have to deny one of the most beautiful divine attributes, supreme power. For God would cease to be supremely powerful the moment he introduced a destructive element into creation. Humanity, no longer immerse your somber glance at the depths of the earth, searching for these punishments. Weep, hope, expiate, and take comfort in the thought of a God who is infinitely good, absolutely powerful, and essentially just. So, what a beautiful response from Plato. Being the great mind that he is, he explains to us that no punishment is eternal because only God is eternal and God is supremely loving and just. It is not of the will of God to punishment, to punish us. What we face in this life are merely the consequences of previous choices. And if we can open our hearts to learn from these consequences, no longer are we going to perceive them as punishments. And even in times when we face great difficulties, the difficulties are there because God perceives them as stepping stones that will propel our evolution. So let us, beloved friends, tonight, inspired by Plato, invite ourselves in the depths of our hearts to re examine challenges in our lives and look for the lessons behind them. Look for signs of God's love within them because you and I are reincarnated to acquire virtues. For instance, when our physical bodies experience a dis-ease, it may be an invitation from God for us to begin cleansing our perispirit of denser energies that no longer, vibrations that no longer belong to us. Also, it may be an opportunity for us to acquire more patience, more calmness, and greater faith. That alone, in and of itself, is a gift from God. So, where does the punishment lie? The punishment lies in our choice to see it as such. How can we then shift our mentality? It is much easier for us to shift our mentality and to feel God's love for us more closely if we look at life as a continuum and if we see this current lifetime as an educational opportunity that shall pass, but is the result of God's loving plan for us. Can we recognize, beloved friends, therapeutic question for you and I? Can we recognize God's loving plan for each and every one of us? Do we know the divine purpose for which we are reincarnated? What are the virtues that God hopes for us to acquire? What are the opportunities that God has granted us to acquire such virtues? What are the resources that God has granted us so that we succeed? Because each and every one of us has reincarnated to succeed. So tonight, rather than seeing the glass half empty. Let us see the glass half full and learn to recognize, open our hearts and minds, utilize our reasoning and faith as proposed by Plato to recognize the virtues that God has wished for us to acquire, to recognize the opportunities for us to acquire those virtues, and finally recognize the resources that God has granted us. Let us then thank God tonight and always for the opportunity to dive more deeply within ourselves, to see ourselves as eternal spirits, and to see ourselves as children of God who have been reborn to succeed. So, what a blessing, dear friends. Let us then take this journey within with much gratitude to God. And until we meet again, dear friends, we invite everyone to continue to stay tuned right here to Kardec Radio, where you and I are always nourishing our souls. Thank you, dear friends, for joining us once again, and we look forward to seeing everyone again next time when we will come back to question 1009 to study its fourth part, now explained by the Spirit of Paul the Apostle. What a true blessing! Thank you, beloved friends. We wish you a good evening or a beautiful day wherever you may find yourselves, and we wish you as well many blessings. Bye for now.